The galaxy had a way of teaching harsh lessons in the quietest ways. Sergeant Marcus Kane, retired after decades of grueling service in the Interstellar Coalition, had expected his post-military life to be calm. He had a small cabin on the edge of the Korath Nebula, a place where stars were thick and alien worlds drifted like forgotten memories. He liked it that way, far from the politics, far from the endless alerts of duty, far from the guilt he carried for those he couldn't save. He spent his days in routine, maintaining his small ship, fishing from the nearby asteroid streams, and occasionally trading rare minerals with passing merchant freighters. Peace, he thought, was finally within reach, until she appeared. The first time Marcus received the hologram, it was a chaotic blur of fear. A tiny alien girl appeared before him, not in person, but projected across his cabin. She was from a species he had only briefly encountered in his last campaigner, fragile, crystalline-skinned race called the Lysari. Their skin shimmered like liquid glass, and their eyes were too large for their small faces, giving them an appearance of perpetual innocence. The hologram flickered violently, the girl trembling. She spoke in broken common galactic, her words clipped by panic. He broke. "Mummy's legs," she said, voice trembling, tears catching the light like tiny diamonds. Marcus didn't hesitate. The words hit him like a jolt of electricity. He had faced alien warlords, bioengineered monstrosities, and entire squadrons of combat drones. But nothing ignited the same fire as seeing an innocent child in immediate danger. "I'm coming," he said, voice low, steady, and unwavering. He grabbed his combat jacket, the one lined with old armor plating and reinforced alloys, and activated his ship. The Vanguard, his old patrol craft, roared to life. Marcus set coordinates for the city of Lysara Prime, the child's homeworld. By the time he arrived, adrenaline had drained into a cold, focused calm. Lysara Prime's main city sprawled beneath a hazy green sky, its towers twisted like crystalline spires, reflecting the twin suns in shards of blinding light. The city looked peaceful from above, but Marcus had learned long ago that appearances were deceiving. He landed in the outer district, where the impoverished quarters of Lysari families clustered together. As soon as his boots touched the ground, Marcus felt the subtle tension in the air. There were watchers here, and he had the unmistakable sense that someone powerful didn't want him there. The girl, whose name he had caught in the hologram, was waiting for him outside her home. She was smaller than he expected, barely 3 standard feet tall, and her crystalline skin shimmered faintly in the fading sunlight. Her eyes were wide, filled with worry. Marcus crouched to her level. "It's okay. I'm here. Where's your mum?" The girl hesitated, her lips quivering. Then she admitted, "Wrong hologram. Mummy, she's fine. But someone is taking things from us. People who hurt others." Marcus's jaw tightened. He had seen enough of that kind of evil. The Lysari might be delicate in appearance, but that didn't make the violence against them any less real. He nodded once. "Show me." The girl led him through winding alleys, past luminous plants that glowed faintly against the violet stone walls, until they reached a small courtyard. And there he saw it. A gang of heavily armed scavengers, a mix of mercenary humans and alien raiders, ransacking a supply depot meant for local families. They carried stun rifles and energy blades, and their brutality was evident in the way they hurled crates and threatened the few defenders. Still standing, Marcus's combat instincts kicked in immediately. He didn't think, he acted. He moved silently, circling the group with a veteran's precision. Using the shadows, he disabled the sentries first, one by one, with quick, silent strikes. His hands, though aged, were still lethal. His mind still sharp from years of battlefield experience. The scavengers didn't know what hit them. They had no understanding that a single human veteran, even seemingly out of shape, could dismantle them with surgical efficiency. Marcus took out weapons with precision, disarmed them, and incapacitated the ones who resisted with non-lethal force, knowing the Lysari authorities would deal with the rest. Within minutes, the courtyard was quiet. The thieves were tied, their weapons clattering uselessly on the ground. The girl watched, wide-eyed, her small hands pressed against her mouth. You saved them," she whispered. Marcus offered her a small smile. "I'm not here to hurt anyone who doesn't deserve it. But if someone threatens the innocent, I'll be coming." It was a promise, though he knew it would sound strange to her kind. The Lysari rarely saw humans up close, and those who did often assumed humans were either primitive or fragile. They had no concept of the resilience or the ferocity that humans could bring when the need was dire. The girl ran ahead, calling for her mother. Marcus followed. They found her in the home they shared with other Lysari families, helping wounded neighbors. Her legs were fine, just a little scraped from helping someone escape earlier. But the relief on her face when she saw Marcus was undeniable. "You," she started, voice shaky. "You came because of her message." Marcus shrugged, brushing dirt from his jacket. "Because of her." He nodded toward the girl. No child should have to send a warning like that and not be protected. Her mother looked at him with awe, disbelief in her eyes. We thought no one could come. Humans don't care." Marcus's expression hardened. "You don't know humans like me." That night, as the city settled, the girl and her mother sat with Marcus in their small home, sharing stories of the scavengers, of life in the outer districts, and of dreams that often seemed too fragile to reach the stars. Marcus listened, occasionally interjecting with wisdom born from hardship, from the loss of comrades, and from witnessing countless injustices across the galaxy. "I'm a veteran," Marcus said finally, after hearing their story. "I've seen what happens when people are left helpless. I've seen what happens when innocence is exploited. You won't be left like that again." The mother's eyes glistened with tears. We don't know how to thank you. A human, a stranger." Marcus shook his head. "Don't thank me yet. Just stay safe. If the galaxy sends another threat, you call me. I'll be coming." The girl, small and fragile, but brimming with newfound courage, placed a crystalline hand on his. "We will, and we'll tell everyone. About humans. About you." For Marcus, it was a rare moment of warmth in a life that had been defined by conflict. He had fought for causes larger than himself, but rarely had he fought for someone who had nothing to give in return. Here, in the small, trembling hope of an alien child, he found purpose again in the days that followed. Marcus helped the Lysari improve security for their community, training them in defensive strategies and tactical awareness. He didn't ask for recognition. He didn't want it. But when scouts from neighboring districts reported fewer raids and safer supply lines, word spread quickly. The human veteran had arrived, and wherever he went, justice followed. The girl often followed him as he worked, learning from every action, every movement, every decision. She asked questions, sharp and insightful, and Marcus answered as best he could, knowing he was planting seeds for a generation that might one day defend themselves as fiercely as he had defended countless worlds. Weeks later, when the galaxy shifted with the arrival of new threats, the Lasari and their neighbors were ready, and Marcus, watching from the shadows, allowed himself a rare smile. Humans were underestimated, often, but he knew the truth. A human veteran, driven by the instinct to protect, could change the course of lives, could change worlds, could remind even the smallest, most fragile beings that someone would come for them when it mattered. The little girl, standing on the balcony of her home with eyes shining like twin stars, looked toward the horizon. "He said he's coming," she whispered. And Marcus, aboard the Vanguard, felt the familiar surge of purpose. Somewhere out there, someone would need him again. And like always, he would be coming, because that was what humans did. Asterisk.